Everyone thinks dominance is loud. That power comes from the person commanding the room, filling every silence, taking up all the space. But you've always known something different. You've felt it in the way people eventually turn to you, even after all the noise dies down. The quietest person in the room isn't powerless. They're collecting power. Because while everyone else is performing, you're doing something far more valuable. You're reading the room. You're watching the subtle shifts, the micro-expressions, the hesitations, the contradictions between what people say and what their body language screams. You're not invisible. You're strategically positioned. Your silence isn't absence. It's presence. So concentrated that people feel it without understanding why. And here's the paradox that psychology has proven again and again. The less you speak, the more control you actually have. Because silence doesn't just keep you safe, it makes you untouchable. There's a reason quiet people dominate social dynamics without raising their voice. It's called the silent power effect, and it operates through 3 psychological mechanisms that most people never see coming. Number 1. Observational dominance. When you're silent, your cognitive resources aren't tied up in performance. You're not rehearsing your next line. You're not defending your ego. You're not competing for airtime. Your mind is fully available, scanning, decoding, connecting patterns. You notice the tension in someone's shoulders, the way their voice shifts when they lie, the alliances forming before anyone else realizes. You see the game while others are just playing it. This isn't luck. This is cognitive bandwidth, used strategically. Number 2. Perceived unpredictability. Here's what makes quiet people psychologically intimidating. No one knows what you're thinking. You don't broadcast your emotions. You don't telegraph your next move. You don't give people the data they need to predict you. And humans fear what they can't map. This creates a psychological buffer around you, a zone of caution. People become careful with you, respectful, sometimes even nervous. Not because you've done anything threatening, but because you remain unknown. And in social dynamics, the unknown always has more power than the exposed. Number 3. Information asymmetry. Every conversation is an exchange, but you don't trade equally. You listen more than you speak. You observe more than you reveal. You gather more than you give. And because most people can't tolerate silence, they fill it. They over-explain. They justify. They expose intentions they never planned to share. Meanwhile, you remain a closed book. You leave with their secrets. They leave with nothing. That imbalance, that information gap, is dominance in its purest form. So, what does this look like in real life? You might be the person who speaks last in meetings, but when you do, the room goes quiet. You might stay calm when everyone else is reacting, and that steadiness becomes the anchor people turn to. You might read someone's true intention in the first 30 seconds, while they're still performing their rehearsed version. You might influence decisions without campaigning for them, because your opinion, when finally given, carries gravity. You might watch conflicts unfold and already know how they'll end, because you've been reading the subtext the whole time. You might be underestimated constantly and use that underestimation as camouflage. This isn't coincidence. This is strategic mastery. Your silence is not a defense mechanism. It's an operating system. It's how you gather intelligence. It's how you maintain psychological leverage. It's how you stay 3 steps ahead without ever announcing your position. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus understood this. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Your power was never in volume. It was in precision, in seeing what others overlook in knowing what others only guess, in controlling the room, without ever needing to announce it. So remember, true dominance doesn't announce itself. It observes. It calculates. It waits. And when it finally moves, everyone feels it. If this resonated, subscribe. Your silent power is just getting started.